I'd love to invite up to the stage Mohamed, CEO and co-founder of MTOR. Ahmed Farouk, the co-founder and head of business development at Invictux. Yousef, Hisham, Amoura, the CEO of SagerDrone, and your moderator, Hisham Mohsena, serial entrepreneur. Please welcome the speakers to the stage.
Hello, hello, can you hear me? All right, how's everyone doing today? How are you guys doing today, gentlemen?
Good, good, how are you?
Very good. How are you, Mohamed?
Good, good, good.
And you, Yousef? Awesome. I had the pleasure of meeting these fine gents earlier, and yeah, we're excited to be here. Super grateful to you, Forbes, for organizing this. And today's topic is about how, in a nutshell, we all use data in our businesses to generate insights and take good decisions in a nutshell. So what we want to do is make this as informal as possible, make it easy, not only for us, but I think for everyone else over here, in case you want to interject and ask any questions at any time, feel free to do so. We're trying to make it like super lax because we were just speaking about all the topics that we have over here, back there, and we were doing it. It was super insightful. I think everyone was like learning awesome stuff. So I think without further ado, let's start off with everyone giving like a quick intro to their business, and we take it from there. How does that sound?
Excellent.
Yeah. You want to go? You want to
Sure.
take the lead?
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. Very happy. My name is Ahmed Farouk, based out of Egypt. What we do is that we co-founded a cybersecurity business that focuses on securing critical infrastructure. So cybersecurity is divided into two parts: IT, informational technology; OT, operational technology. IT is focused more on banks, the cloud, web application, websites. However, our venture focuses mainly on nuclear power plants, oil and gas, electric grids. So it's mainly focused on the human safety, and this is where our edge comes. We understand this very well, and we do assessments, implementation, integration of solutions, and we have our own OT SOC as well. Was that good?
Yeah, perfect. I think, anyone have any questions for Ahmed? Okay, good. We're going to just progress through, and then we can get into the good stuff in a bit. So Yousef, you want to take the lead on the next one?
Yeah, sure. First of all, pleasure being with you here, and thanks, Forbes, for the invitation. So I'm Yousef Amoura, the CEO and co-founder of SagerDrone. I'm going to start with a fact. Can you imagine that the amount of losses in construction sector alone, it's almost $1.2 trillion worldwide due to decision taken out of unstructured data. Due to the fact of rapidly adopting robotics in general, aerial robotics, drone, the amount of data is being doubled every year, not only in construction, across all. And due to the bad management or inefficient management of those data, there's a new kind of fatigue, which is data fatigue, data overwhelming. And with the huge investment on AI, we are seeing that there's a complex, inefficient use of AI with unstructured data. So what we did at Sager, we have developed an ecosystem that connect the dot between data service provider and AI within one ecosystem, allowing government entity, construction companies to digitize their infrastructure and get actual insight about their progress on the ground. So this is what we are doing. We built the ecosystem that combined robotics and AI for a better future.
Love it. Thank you so much, Yousef. We're going to move on to Mohamed and just make sure we get everyone's business so that the audience has context, and then we can dive into some very exciting questions that we have for our esteemed guests. Go for it.
Sure, thanks, man. My name is Mohamed, co-founder and CEO of MTOR. And just to put it in a nutshell, who doesn't like cars, right? So basically, you like a car till you need to get it to the mechanic. And then that's where everything gets dirty, messy, and a bit expensive, I would say. And that's even doubled in emerging markets, right? So you'd have the average car age is above 15 years, and you'd have the first 2-3 years in the official dealership, because you have to. And you pay tons of money, but you have to, because of warranty issues. And then you'd have 10 plus years in the aftermarket, where you go to your unofficial mechanic. So we started around 3 years ago. MTOR is a B2B platform that is dedicated to empower local independent mechanics to offer car owners excellent quality services at affordable prices. And that's where it started. Right now, we operate out of Egypt. Basically, we have more than 3,000 mechanics already using our platform. We do the logistics, we do some financing, we do the spare parts delivery, as well as technical recommendations to mechanics. I'm a mechanical engineer at heart, so excuse me for being a bit geeky on cars, but I believe most of the crowd like cars, so some people like to ride them and some people like to fix them, but no one really likes to pay tons of money for the mechanic, right? So, but those are our customers at the end of the day. But I think we already had the panel like an hour over there, but it was pretty fun, and getting to know everyone here is pretty fun as well.
I think we're going to have to repeat some of our discussion earlier and bring it out over here. So I'll give a quick intro on myself to everyone just before we dive in. My name's Harsh. I'm the founder and CEO of Kingpin. Kingpin is a wholesale platform that allows brands in the fashion and sports industry to essentially grow their sales as they sell to many shops around the world. So in a nutshell, we help these brands save over 200 hours a month on manual processes as they sell their brands. And our AI agent helps them find customers that are a fit for their brand anywhere in the world. So that's what we do in a nutshell. So
that's why you're just super good today, right?
I mean, I try, but you know, I have a lot of work to do. I think this outfit has been repeated many times, I won't lie. In a nutshell, guys, let's dive in. I think one thing that I'm pretty sure everyone conventionally hears is a lot of how data helps decision making. Should we talk about where data can often be misleading, and it might lead you in a different direction if you don't tame this bull in the right way? So let's go a little controversial, and how about we go over there? Anyone want to take that one? I was a wild card from my side.
Yeah, so allow me to dive in, because we are dealing with tons of data, terabytes of data. With the huge adaptations for IoT devices, sensor, robotics, drones, we becoming overwhelmed. And actually, the new commodity of the future is the data. And there's a new kind of topics and startup that they start building their entire model to be a data supply chain business. And their core focus, how I would be able to move this commodity from the reality, from the ground, into the right analysis engine and deliver the right ready product for the clients. And we will start seeing a lot of kind of those startups, not even for enterprise only, also government entity. I consult a few of them on establishing a data supply chain arm for the governments in order to be responsible for streamline those data collectors, we call them DSPs, data service providers, in order to make sure one thing. They have invested billions of dollars on AI, and if we don't have control on the quality of the data, the output will be rubbish.
Yep.
So that's why you will start hearing more of, I want to work with this brand because, you know, they are resilient, they have a baseline for data, and they have cybersecure. And here I want to have hand over to you because you're in cybersecurity, and our system built completely with the right partner for cybersecurity, actually.
All right. Just before we let Ahmed go, Yousef, just let the crowd understand, like, how many data points do you have? Like, how many columns in an Excel file on each transaction, on each journey that you would be capturing, and so on and so forth?
So actually, a lot, to be honest, because I will tell you something. We start with an image. And that's why our slogan is step into the bigger picture. And from this image, we can run unlimited number of computer vision or machine vision and translate it into different insight based on the observer. So if you are from a security perspective, you can see this image and see behavior issues. If I am an O&M engineer, I will see the rust and I will see the issue.
Oh, wow.
So So it goes from the perspective and from the interest. That's why we start by establishing core government infrastructure as a service, where we deploy those robotics and give access to those different stakeholders from the same investments. So why partners choose us? Because we maximize the ROI and we make the unit economy make sense. How they could make more stakeholders engage with the same data sets so we could capture data at scale. So
Nice.
the columns are really, really large.
Wow, okay, so that's kind of like similar to a future where we can imagine that drones are the ones doing surveillance around cities. In London, you got those cameras at the corners of the streets, but in the future, it could be one of the drones that are on your software.
It's near future, actually.
But that's crazy stuff, right? Imagine all that data. You're gonna need it to be secure. You're gonna need it to be stored somewhere, or like, who knows, it might be peeping in your window while you're, you know, in your homes, right? So how do you secure that data, Ahmed?
So just to add to Yousef's points, everything is getting digitalized. Data is very important. As they say, it's the new oil. However, not a lot of people focus on securing the data. So everything is getting digitalized, but security itself is not that in a priority. And we're still in the beginning of AI data. So I'll tell you a very interesting client we were working with 2 weeks ago. So it's a water treatment facility. What they do is that they sell water bottles. So one of the hackers, they entered into the systems facility. They had access to the data. They played with the water chemicals. The waters were bottled up, sent to the store. People drank and they died. So this is how crucial it is. It's not only about people having access to your data now. It's more about social security and the health of the people. Same with the oil and gas players. Safety is important. People can hack into the tanks, have access to their data, and blow up the plant. So this is how crucial it is. And for example, medical facilities, data is very important, very confidential. Most companies now, their data is their assets. So you need to, what we do is that when we make sure that they have the right infrastructure, they're compliant to the standards. For example, in Dubai, there's the National Cybersecurity of Dubai. They have their own standards that the clients need to be compliant with. In Saudi, there's the NCA. So these standards are pushing our work out there, creating the awareness, and as well the solutions that we implement and integrate help in securing that data very well. Last to highlight, it's very important for big customers that have data is to implement a SOC, which is a Security Operations Center, where you're able to monitor your data live and catch any malicious activity before happening or before hitting the ground. Backup is very important. So my advice to all people who run big facilities, run companies, you always need to have an offline backup and store it away from your facility at least 50 meters away. This is one of the standards that are abide in Abu Dhabi and Dubai and Emirates in general. So this is mainly how we look into things. It's more of a national security issue, and drones as well. Warfare in the future is going to be more of a cyber warfare. As drones, a lot of tech things are getting into the space. That's why we are really dedicated and focused to make the world a better place and a more secure place.
Love it. I think what's super interesting over there is that you're talking about where the government has come in and said, hey, we need you to protect this data that's there. And those are like really sensitive places where financial information is there, or like drones or oil tanks where are essentially assets or risky scenarios where things need to be protected. I'm going to take a switch over to Mohamed, who works in a similar industry to me, right? We're both in the B2B space, and we're both working in a very different part than these gentlemen over here, where the government has not come there yet to mandate cybersecurity on the data. And I think we're in emerging markets as a whole, getting access to transactional data between companies could unlock many other value-added services. Tell us a bit about that, Mohamed, and like, how have you used data to roll on value-added services to your clients that was not previously accessible because this data wasn't there and you've transformed it?
I think what's extremely important over data is just data makes the switch between reactivity and proactivity possible, right? So without actually having the proper set of data, either on the supply side or the demand side, everything is more or less currently reactive, right? So the car breaks down, the machines in factories break down, people with healthcare or people with certain diseases, everything is extremely reactive, right? And with what's been happening over the past decades is with more data points over the kind of mass data point collection methods, either over phones, social media, even cameras in the streets, right? This kind of harnessing of data makes it possible that you would actually start proactively either saving on the supply side or actually making more profits on the demand side or improving the customer experience. And it's been extremely used in global tech platforms, Facebook and the likes. Just it personalizes. So imagine talking to a person and every time you see him, you need to reintroduce yourself. Doesn't make any sense, right? So what has been happening is when you harness, in my industry, for example, once you have more data points over the car, the mileage, which mechanics he goes to, typical faults of certain makes, model, and year, you're able to give him exact kind of quotations on how the lifetime cost of ownership of a car is, right? And that's a double-sworded thing, because sometimes it hurts the manufacturers, they don't like it, but they'll swallow it up. And the other side, it just benefits the consumer. So I think data points, and from the harnessing till the processing and integration afterwards, is extremely important, but it needs to be looked at not in, like, you have to see the bigger picture, right? Because that's where the first question is, where can data points be misleading, right? They can be extremely misleading if you don't see the bigger picture of the data set, right? And that's where basically you need to make sure that everything is aligned and data points are in the right place.
100%. And kind of touching on that data being in the right place, not many people expect this is how the real shops that we all buy clothes from work, but in a nutshell, the people selling to these shops, the shop buyers are getting Excel sheets with small, medium, large XL, blue color, green color, red color, and that's how they're literally buying items. And what we see in our space is a lot of the time the salespeople that are selling to that shop will show that they have 10 pieces in that Excel sheet, but another salesperson in that same company has sent that Excel sheet to like 5 other people. And then when the buyers come back with an order saying, hey, I want 5 units, I want 3 units, I want 2 units, I want 8 units, you've actually sold 18, but you have 10. And that's like a simple case where one piece of data that's in one place is like lost, and now you've essentially oversold 8 units when you could have had made that as revenue. So these are small things where we've like inceptionalized like data hygiene at the start of our process, and just help these sellers like see firstly what is the revenue loss and let them go after it afterwards. Just want to leave the floor open to the audience. Does anyone have any questions? Because otherwise we're going to go here for hours until Leo decides to take us off. Any questions? Anyone in the crowd curious? You got 4 founders over here on the stage. Any questions from the audience? Yes, Salim. So Ahmed, the question is, what does your company do in the industrial sector?
So I'll answer this question through a case study. A month ago, we had a very interesting client in Saudi, actually one of the biggest manufacturing of paper in general. They have a couple of facilities, so they got attacked by a ransom. A ransom is when the hacker encrypts all your data. You don't have access to your facility, you don't have access to your laptops, your computers, so you're completely paralyzed. This client used to face the loss of $7 million per week. He had his operations stopped for a month, so make the math. So around $40 million due to that ransom attack. And the attacker requested him to pay a $30 million ransom to give him access back to the plant. What we were able to help out the client, give him access to the plant again, make him live. However, the client came back to me and he told me, listen, I don't want this tech anymore. I want to return to my old way of manufacturing. I want to get my labor, get people on ground. He told me I don't care about being about all the tech stuff being more efficient. I just want to make sure that I don't face this again. So what we do is we're making the world a safer place, because if we don't focus on that right now, trust me, in 20 years' time, people are not going to be able to use tech anymore. Everything is going to be paralyzed. Planes, ships, cars, Teslas are getting hacked. So human nature is going to always be, I want to be safer. So let's go to the basics and let's go to working manually, which means with a paper and pen, riding on a horse rather than just an electric vehicle, or using untech stuff. So if we don't focus on securing the critical infrastructure, and cybersecurity is not on our top priority, we're going to face that challenge in maybe a couple of years, not even in 20 years' time. As data and AI is getting more aggressive, security is getting more of a high-level thing for government institutions, as well as countries and nation states.
Awesome. I think what we can wrap this, I have a follow-on to that, like, we see that how data can be used within our businesses. I think they see it. I think let's leave with, let's do a round where we all go and say 1 or 2 metrics that is a data point that we use to help our clients see the benefit of adopting our respective businesses in their environment. So should we do that as a round?
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool, on the fly. All right, let's go. Ahmed, you go first. Off that, like, what is one metric that you use to show these big banks and these big agencies that, hey, this is the metric that is going to change in your business?
So what we do is that we have a database in our, that we have done it internally, that is able to detect any CVEs or threats that are immediately, like, so cybersecurity is a continuous thing. So new threats are always there, new threats are always developed, new malicious code is developed. So we created this tech where it's called Zero Trust, where you're able to, through AI and our database, we're able to immediately detect if there's any new malicious activity that has been spread into any system or is out there. So what we do is that once we detect that, we have this model sends out alerts to our clients in order to tell them, oh, this malicious activity or code has been spread either through email, or the system should take care, fill in these gaps, harden this patch, harden these systems. So this is how we mainly use AI and our data points in order to help our clients be more secure.
Love it. Yousef, what about you? What is the data point you use to convince your clients about you have the best solution?
So basically, the end commodity, after we process the data, we create a digital twin. It's an exact digital copy of your real assets, but you can see it like in your laptop. And the key metrics, usually we communicate with our clients, the amount of a trip to the site that we reduce for him. Imagine if you're managing a cell tower companies, a telecom, like it's Salat or others. Nice. You know, can you imagine how many cell towers they do have and how they want to enroll out from the 4G to 5G? Yeah. They have to send team to check the availability, etc. So minimizing the number of trips to the site. Yeah. And even understand the capacity.
That's costly. Lots of sites, lots of vehicles, lots of cars, lots of equipment, lots of engineers, hours, days, months.
100%. And of course, they will also find out the real equipment installed into their system. So updating their inventory, keeping it up to date. So minimizing the time needed to update, it's another metric. Yep. So those kind of the 2 main metrics. In addition, using our system, managing their data collection at a scale, we give them 2 metrics mainly. We reduce the error of data capture by 98%. We reduce the time of coordination by 80%. And most important, reduce the cost of operation by 45%.
Love it.
This is how we usually convince a big player to work with us.
Sold. You are going to be monitoring all my drones going forward, I promise.
Sure.
How about you, Mr. Magid?
I think my clients or our customers, essentially right now they have the bare data points that basically they don't have that much data points. So we're actually offering them to digitize their kind of operations to afterwards then take a look at what kind of data points is important to them. So the bigger the workshop is, the more sustainable he wants to become, the more profitable, and at the same time, the more off-hands he would like to become, right? More the smaller the workshop is, the more he doesn't have any data points. So we currently, what we offer him is a simple kind of app that basically harnesses the data points from his costing perspective to his selling perspective. And even I think what's extremely important about in our industry's B2B side, especially in emerging markets, is the financial aspect, like financial literacy of the operators or the management team of a certain business. So with those kind of data points, if you give him, okay, what's his COGS are, what his revenues are, what kind of things are major contributors to his P&L or balance sheet or cash flow, just give him certain insights and directions to increase over time the financial literacy. And I think that's extremely important because that's what really differentiates a good business from a falling business, right?
Love it, love it. I think in our side, it's super simple. We help them reduce their OPEX by 60%, and we help them grow their sales by 20%. Like, we help them grow their sales pipeline. And what we see is that over a period of 12 months, customers that have used Kingpin have actually grown their sales by 15 to 24% just by implementing the platform alone, simply because of the efficiencies, the time savings for the team, and finding new customers that didn't exist in their network. So these are 3 simple metrics that we use to convey our value. And I think that's a wrap. Leo's been giving me a nice look, but now he's not looking. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Super grateful to be here, and have a lovely day. Thank you guys for taking the time.
Thank you, everyone.
Busy schedule.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harsh.